After winning the WCHA Final Faceoff title with a 1-0 win over Minnesota, the women's hockey team earned the #2 seed in the NCAA tournament. The Badgers will host Mercyhurst in a first-round game on Saturday at 7 p.m. at LeBon Arena. The winner will then advance to the Frozen Four in Durham, New Hampshire on March 18th and 20th. Head coach Mark Johnson is here. We'll have some opening comments and take questions.
Thanks, Brian. It was a fun bus ride home last night. As I mentioned, a couple of comments after the game yesterday at the press conference, I was very impressed with, the way our team battled the entire 60 minutes. It was going to be a tight, hard-fought battle. At times, when Minnesota, gets up to speed and is going as well as they're able to play, you can bend a little bit, but, you ask your players to do some of the little things that are necessary if you're going to be successful, whether it's winning a face-off in a certain situation, blocking shots, doing the things necessary to get yourself to the finish line. And, I credit our players. They had to dig down deep, and they were able to do that. And the satisfaction from that is, as the game ends, you watch the joy and the smiles and the celebration afterwards. And I think from the coaching staff, that's a unique and a real special moment.
You guys are used to seeing Mercyhurst in the postseason. Does that help a little bit in kind of knowing that the type of hockey they play?
Well, yeah, obviously know the coaching staff and their style and things like that. And so, they've been able to get over the hurdle. And as I've said in the past, this game is probably the toughest one to win. You're pretty close to the Frozen Four, but yet it's a big step you have to take. And, they've been in that situation before where they've traveled to Cornell, they've traveled to BU, they've been on the road and been able to win the game. So it'll be entertaining. They'll play hard. They'll try to play fast, and it'll be a competitive atmosphere.
Young Sidney McKibben's had a pretty good season and certainly a stretch run down the stretch here that's been productive for you. Nice to see.
Very nice to see. We had multiple conversations, in January and even early February where she was a little bit frustrated because her goal production wasn't where she felt it might be. And, she had been playing well. Just for whatever reason, the puck wasn't going in. She was getting chances. But as kids that like to score goals, if you're not getting them, you get frustrated. But, the last 3 or 4 weekends, she's played well, and she's got rewarded now for her efforts. And certainly one of her biggest goals was yesterday afternoon.
Mark, when you look at the A-team field for this national tournament, is there a more battle-tested team than yours?
I mean, I think if you look at the strength of schedules and some of the games that we've had to play lately, Minnesota might have a case too, but the nice thing about the teams that are able to come out of our league and move on to the final 8, it's great preparation. And so, yesterday's game was great preparation. Even the 2 games, and we talked about a couple weeks ago that we lost up in Minnesota, is great preparation as we got ready for the playoffs. And, if you can maintain that level of play, that'll bode well for Minnesota in their game and should help us as we get prepared for Saturday.
Can you quantify home ice advantage at this point in the season? Clearly, it is a big deal, but to what degree is it a help to your team?
Well, it's probably just the sense of comfortable, and they're in their routine and they go about their business, and it's not awkward. And so I think what we've been able to establish at home over the last especially the second semester where we've had big crowds, if not sellouts. A lot of teams aren't used to that atmosphere, and our players certainly seem to be comfortable in that setting. And you throw the band in there, and then you throw the pressure of some of the games that we've had to play, and how they respond. Those are the little things that you hope make a difference as we prepare for the game and play the game Saturday.
Anything you need to shore up specifically, or do you like the way your team is playing right now?
No, I thought, yesterday was a little bit of a classic, and, when you have two good teams, competing for a trophy, we came out in the first period and played extremely well, and, I'm not sure when they got their first shot, it was 8, 9, 10 minutes into the period, and we had good jump, and, then they responded, and they came at us the second period. But I liked the way that we played. I liked the energy level. It seemed like the players were relaxed. And I think in those settings, that's good for you. They seem to be comfortable. And as I told them before the game yesterday, it's a good day to be a hockey player. I mean, they work hard, 5 or 6 months. They train in the summer. And then, they get an opportunity to play in a championship game for a trophy in the atmosphere we played in yesterday. And to me, that's fun. Let's go have fun.
Coach, you played a lot of teams that you've been very familiar with for the past couple of months. Now you're taking on a Mercyhurst team. 2012 was the last meeting. How does the preparation for this week? Is it more film? How does this week change preparation-wise?
It's balancing, what we need to do as a team and managing the next 3 or 4 practices, and make sure that when they drop the puck Saturday that we're ready to go. And then the second part is just collecting enough data to give your team information about certain things that'll help them be successful Saturday. So you balance those things out, and as coaches, we probably look at a bunch of film, and the balancing is how much you feed and how much you give to your players. And so we'll do that as the week progresses, and again, it comes down to your ability to execute under the environment and us going out and playing up to our capabilities.